Next we have at number 3, Super Mario 64. My favorite 3D Mario game of all time. They took a 2D game and made it into a huge 3D adventure. Even as a kid who lived mostly during like the PS2, Xbox time, this game blew my mind. It just is so big and massive for the time. You can go anywhere you want, the exploration is fantastic, and the gameplay is... the controls are amazing, and I just love this game. Not much to say about it. Number 2, you're probably going to be surprised this is not even number 1, because it is a perfect, amazing, incredible game that revolutionized gaming forever, and that is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Yep, I love this game to death. The story is incredibly engaging. The Legend of Zelda series in general is like that, for the most part. And everything, from the way everything is set up, to be perfectly emotionally captured into this game, and I don't even know what I'm talking about now. You know how incredible this game is. I love the dungeons. They're classic. They're not too easy, not too hard. Of course, there's the water temple, but still, overall, a perfect game. At number 1, we have my favorite game of all time. Yep, we have Banjo-Kazooie. Yes, heck yes! This game is amazing. It took everything that Super Mario 64 did and cranked it up entirely, hugely, in every way. The music, incredible, incredibly fitting, incredibly catchy. The graphics are amazing for the time. The worlds are incredibly creative, incredibly fun to play through, and it's a slow-paced platformer, but it's incredibly rewarding in every way. The controls are spot-on, perfect, improved from even Super Mario 64, and it is just the perfect platformer if you ask me. I love Tooie as well, but it didn't quite make my list. At Generation 6, let's go! First off, we have number 5, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I love the Paper Mario series, and this is my favorite in the series. The humor, the dialogue, the style of this game, the RPG elements are incredibly creative and very, very fun. I love how it's also still a platform at the same time, in ways, and it's just a fantastic title that is kind of overlooked. The whole series should have more attention than it does. It's a fantastic RPG, one of my favorite that I've ever played. Next we have 2 games, tied because I couldn't choose. They're both amazing and they're in the same series, so why not? Jet Grind Radio and Jet Set Radio Future. Yeah, these games are insanely unique. And you think maybe they're just sports games at first, but no, they're not just rollerblading. It's an action game at the same time, a platform at the same time, a sports game at the same time, a graffitiing game. It's pretty hard to describe at first, but once you play these games, you'll never want to remember the time before you played them. Let's just say that. At number 3, we have Ratchet & Clank: Up Your Arsenal. Yep, Ratchet & Clank: Up Your Arsenal is my favorite Ratchet & Clank game, and they took everything from the first and second game and turned it into this fantastic piece of work here. The levels are incredibly creative, very fun. The villain, Dr. Nefarious, is probably my favorite video game villain of all time. incredibly hilarious. The writing in these games is hilarious. The characters are so memorable and so much fun. And this one just perfected everything. And the weapons are great and fantastic. The worlds you visit, and I love this game. At number 2 we have this is a classic, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Thousands of hours of fighting fun in this game. One of the best fighters ever made. Need I say more? Really? There's so much packed into this game, it's insane for the time. And it's still fun to play a game, fast-paced 4-player action. And my number 1 Generation 6 game is Metroid Prime. The best... I'd have to say it's the best adventure game ever created besides The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Tied with probably around Super Metroid. The Retro Studios is an amazing developer. They took the 2D Adventures of Samus and perfectly translated it into 3D. They did a perfect transition. The amount of detail and wonder to this world of Talon 4 is incredible. The amount of exploration in this game is just amazing. You can easily get lost, but that is what makes this game so fun, is finding your way through, figuring out all the puzzles, figuring out how to defeat the next enemy, and getting through this dark world and finally getting to Metroid Prime and kicking its butt. So yeah. Oh, and this game right here, amazing graphics, amazing, the atmospheric music to it is beautiful, and when the battle music, which is more techno-y and such, is also incredible as well. And the gameplay, best first person game ever made. I don't, like, you know, it's more of an adventure game, but still, it's not really a first person shooter, but technically it kinda is. So, yep, best first person shooter, adventure, whatever you want to call it, of all time, really. And finally, our current generation, Generation 7. This will be kind of the hardest list, because even with the other ones, like, oh, there's games I haven't played and it's kind of annoying. It's like there's so many other games that could be represented. But, oh well. And this one will be even harder because some of these games I got recently, they're amazing, but I haven't played through them all the way. So some of these places could be not permanent. But number 5, we have Sonic Generations. For a long time, probably since Sonic Heroes or so, I had kind of slowly been giving up on the Sonic series, as for obvious reasons. But then finally Sega cranked out Sonic Colors. It amazed me, couldn't wait for Generations, and wow, did it blow me away in every way. They made Sonic incredible again. Fast-paced, action-packed, fantastic soundtrack. There's very little wrong with this game. They could improve it even more, and I can't wait to see what they come up with next. This is an amazing game. One of the best platformers just this gen. Number 4, you'll probably be surprised by this, but it could very well be higher on my list later on. I just haven't played it a ton yet. I have played it a good amount to where it could be even on this list. And that's The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. There's some decisions here and there that I don't like about this game, but everything else is top-notch Zelda adventure. The Wii Motion Plus works great. I do like the style. The exploration is very fun. I love how it's kind of more fast-paced Zelda in ways, but it's also more slow-paced. It's kind of weird. But, yeah, it's The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. At number 3, we have The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Wow. I really have... This is an amazing game. One of the best action RPGs I have ever played. I love the amount of customization with this huge, gigantic world you're given. Like, it's like, graphics don't make the game. I don't care. This game doesn't have the best graphics. I don't give a crap. The world is amazing, and if they had to use older graphics, which they kind of did, who cares? This game's amazing. And yeah, there's really not much to say about this game. You already know all about it. I love the customization, the huge world, and everything else. And number 2, you've heard me rant and rave about, not rant because I love this game, rave about this game so much. Number 2, the best action RPG I've had played so far, Solotorobo Red the Hunter. Wow, this is such a beautiful game in every single solitary way. Not even just the art and such. That is incredibly beautiful, but the story is incredibly original. The characters are so likable. Every single character in this game is so lovable, and so you can connect with them so well. It does that so well as an RPG. The gameplay, while it is pretty easy a lot of the time, is incredibly fun, incredibly unique. There's no game like this. You need to get it if you love action RPGs. And my number 1 game from Gen 7 is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Pretty much for every reason why I said Melee was amazing. Hundreds of hours of 4-player fun. I like it around the same as Melee. It packs so much into this disc that's insane. There's really not much to say about more than that, so that's the end of my video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Might have not been the most organized kind of video ever, but I hope you enjoyed it. Hope for even greater videos in the future, moving on from my 400th, and I'll see you guys later.